Hey there, welcome to This Week at Skye. And today, again, like most weeks, I got Ash Campbell. Thanks for coming, Ash. Thanks for coming in today.
Me?
Yeah.
You're the one who's never here.
That's true. That's true. I like the earrings.
And I'm the consistent one on this podcast at this point.
You are. You are much more consistent than me. I enjoy those earrings.
Thank you.
They're good. They've had a few showings.
Yeah.
How was your week last week?
Busy week. Everything was happening last week. We had 15. Well, I think at one point there were about 20 people in the office.
too many.
We don't have that many seats,
Yeah.
but there were so many people in the office on Wednesday. We had Aimee come down. She's our head of associates, so she's come down just to do some training with them. Because she was in, we had some people from MetLife come along. We had some people from PPS come along. It was all happening. MetLife came and they spoke to us.
Tax. It was
That's
an exciting
right.
session about tax. Jeff Scott. If anyone's going to make tax exciting, it's Jeff Scott.
He did a good job of it.
Yeah.
It was good. His presentation styles, really good.
Yes, he's
enjoyed
very
that. And PPS, they were talking about not claims, underwriting sort of things.
Yeah.
Just to help provide us some more context of why they ask so many questions, what they do with that information. Got to pick his brain on a few different scenarios.
Yeah, and also about like non-disclosure as well. Like Dave talked about, having a client disclose certain things and then later when increasing the cover in the future, a bit more came out. And so how do they manage that? And that was a good example of, if the underwriter's asking a million questions, it can seem annoying. But the reason is because they see these other cases where, if they just take it at face value, if a claim happened that, wasn't 100% true, then it can cause a whole bunch of issues. So it was a good session. So Aimee was in town and we went to trivia.
Yeah, we did.
And we were against each other. So we had two tables. It was like 12 of us, I think, representing. Two tables against each other. What questions did you contribute to? Because we were talking about it before and saying that we're both useless at trivia. What were the questions that you contributed?
I really did not have a lot to contribute. Like, it wasn't...
There wasn't a question that you were the only one with the answer?
Where people were answering and I was like, oh, yeah, I already know that. It's cool. Most of the questions they were answering, I'm like, how does anyone know this? I was able to identify the bottom half of Tim Minchin's space.
Yeah, that was a good get. We didn't get that.
Yeah. And I knew that a gallon was 3.78 litres. So.
Yeah. I actually got the one above. I got Sean Bean.
Yes.
Not Sean
there
Dean,
you go.
Sean Bean. And we had people in our team who were like convinced it was someone else. And I was like, got lucky because I just opened my phone and it had that like zoomed in on that. And I was like, oh, why is the guy from Lord of the Rings on there? And so I got that. And the other one I did, it was single-handedly contributed to my team, was Brunei.
Yeah.
Was the country.
That was good.
But other than that, I was useless. I was just like, you're doing good. I was cheerleading. That was my job.
You were a woo girl.
Yeah, I was a woo girl. And so we had banana bread off as well.
Who won the trivia night?
Hey, I was quietly moving on, but thank you for the honesty. Your team definitely won. And in first place, I think your team was called.
Yes.
Yeah, they won. I think you won by 3 points. So you got,
we got 2 bonus points, but we still
those
won.
2 bonus points are completely subjective, and I discounted them. So if you won by 1 point, including those 2 bonus, I would have been irate because they're completely subjective based on, drawing. But you legitimately won.
We legitimately won.
Yeah, by 3. So, yes. Now, can we move on from trivia? Is that okay? Yeah, good. All right. Banana bread off.
Yes.
What happened there?
Ruby did not fulfill her promises, her punishment.
Nope.
She did bake a cake because she prefers chocolate cake, but she got her sister to bake the banana bread. They brought in so Seb made banana bread, Ruby made banana bread. They made very different banana breads. Seb's was like a chocolate chip muffin sort of vibe.
Kind of cheating a little bit, yeah, but I appreciate it.
And then Ruby's sister's was more classic walnuts,
But had
lots
nuts.
of spices.
Yeah, is that normal? Nuts in banana bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've seen it on top of the banana bread, but not in it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I've had it
all right.
before.
You're the baker. So and so Ruby has to bake has to bake
Ruby's baking it.
another
Yeah,
one.
there's bananas sitting in the cupboard again to go
Yeah.
on again.
Yeah, good. And then what else happened last week? Aimee came and played tennis. She wasn't prepared, didn't have the equipment, didn't have the shoes for it.
Yeah, I heard you asked her about it on the plane.
Yeah. I informed her that we'll be playing, and she's like, "I'm not ready." And it's like, "That's okay. Let's lock in." So it was me and Aimee versus Seb and Ruby, and they destroyed us. Like convincingly beat us. And we were being a bit generous with the serving because Aimee, I don't think had ever played tennis before. So we were being generous with the serving.
So,
that's true.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. But they still, convincingly beat us. And it made me feel good because Seb was smashing the tennis ball straight at Aimee. And I was thinking, you know what? Most weeks me and Seb play. Most weeks I beat him, and I was like, is he sandbagging? Is he taking it easy against me because I'm his boss? No. Aimee's his direct report, and he was hammering the ball straight at her, which made me feel good.
Yeah. You're winning fair and square.
Yeah, I am winning fair and square. But, I thought maybe go easy if it's someone's first time playing tennis, but that's okay. Seb, you do you, boo.
Seb only has one mode.
Yeah, it's to try and win.
As hard as he can.
I respect it. What else happened? You went to a TAO webinar.
Yeah, they had a lady from Africa come along and just run us through everything they do at Africa, what their advocacy looks like. They ran us through what the dispute process would look like, and then a few cases as well. It was a really good listen, which I definitely plan to go and listen to again.
Yeah. You know what? When we were doing our deep dive last week on compensation scheme for last resort and reading, there's 100,000 AFCA complaints. That is wild how many complaints there are. I guess some of those complaints, we've gotten 3 complaints at Skye. None of them related to us, but when a consumer goes and makes a complaint, they just typed in the AFSL name and they just assumed we were that related entity. So it's for a credit card company, and they used to be branded Skye something. So Skye credit cards or something. And so they just went, Skye, money, yep, bam, let's make a complaint. So we've gotten 3 complaints, all heart attack driven. I freaked out every single time. Now I see a complaint, I'm like, it's probably not for us. Like every time, and I get annoyed because I've got to spend like an hour explaining why it's not us and pointing AFCA to the right place. But I reckon a lot of those and they're minor complaints. But they may make up a bulk amount of those complaints. But yes, yet to have a real complaint against us.
Yeah, interesting. It was because there are, complaints against Skye, hopefully don't come in for a long time. It was good to actually get to see that behind the scenes sort of thing.
Yeah. And that's one thing, I make sure I do a lot is actually read a lot of the determinations. So anytime there's something against a financial services business that relates to insurance, all right, let's read what are they doing? How do we learn from their mistakes and not make those mistakes ourselves? So our first article we've got TAO, mental health claims. I feel like a broken record talking about mental health claims, but TAO, one of the biggest insurers, released their claim stats. And guess what's number 1? Mental health. So talk to me through this article.
4 years running, mental health has been the largest claim, percentage of claim, making up 21% of their claims, which is huge because there are so many categories that you can claim on. We released a video last week doing a deep dive into claims. I think it was last week. And so, just proof that they are paying out claims. TAL have 5 million customers and paid out 4.7 billion in claims last year. So
a lot.
Not an insignificant number at all.
So how many customers? 5 million? Over 5 million?
Yeah.
What's the population in Australia? Do you know? I think it's like 27. Yeah, 27, 28 is my guess. Potty's going to look it up. It's around 17 to 22 million adults in Australia. So it's a good chunk of Australians being insured by this insurance company. And so, big portion of mental health claims. And then out of those mental health claims, let's dive deep because they do give us a breakdown of what percentage of those claims are for life, TPD and income protection.
So I was quite surprised. 3% mental health claims paid out for life, 25% total and permanent disability, and then the rest is made up by income protection. Yeah. Income protection is the largest percentage of claims for across most of the sections.
Quick question, just to put you on the spot, and you may not have the actual numbers. Is that numbers of claim in terms of the dollar amount paid out?
I was just wondering the same thing. It
doesn't tell us in the article.
No, not in this article.
All right, cool. Well, we'll probably find that out because we're both inquisitive and we like to know these things, but it won't be on the recording. All right, next article is about the compensation scheme of last resort and the consultation. So we did a deep dive on this last week, but it won't be released for a number of weeks. And we did like way too much research on this deep dive.
But to be honest, not enough.
Yeah, to be honest, 90% of our research was not included in the recording, but that's okay. It's important to understand it. So what's going on with this compensation scheme?
So the compensation scheme was first started to be talked about 2019, came into play 2024 was when it was properly in place. We've had the first couple of tranches of payments into it. There's caps, there's different sectors that are paying a levy, so financial advisors being one of them. We are subject to a $20 million cap each year. The first couple of years, I think the first year was about 2.4 million is how much was being requested to be paid. I think then it was 18.8, something like that. 18 to 19. That's for the financial year just gone. And then the compensation scheme is looking to be about 60 something million.
Yeah, so it's 75 million in total in compensation, but the bulk portion of that, 67 million, is from financial advice. And so that's over the sector cap of $20 million. So the minister has a choice. Do I pass it on to the industry that caused the problem, so financial advice? Do I pass it across all the industries that are a part of this levy, or does the government pay for it, and therefore all Australians pay for it in their tax? And so there's a whole bunch of different options, and so Treasury has come out and said, let's consult and see what we should do, which is interesting. I mean, just make a decision. Like the industry is going to say, yeah, pass it on to, the government should pay, or, adjust the levy. Like the industry, financial advisors aren't going to be like, yeah, actually these failed investment schemes, are kind of linked to us. So yeah, we'll pay the bill. No, I don't understand what they expect out of this consultation.
Yeah, when it was first tabled, the compensation scheme of last resort, all of the financial advisors were like, yeah, if people have been wronged, we're happy to support, but what's since come to light is that it's a lot of failed managed investment schemes and a little bit of fraud going on in some aspects. It's not just, bad advisors being bad advisors.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I think, even though I kind of assume the Treasury and the Minister will do whatever they kind of do, I will probably make a submission. And we've actually reached out to the Minister and see if we can have a meeting. Doubt we will, but it's worth a try.
One of my sayings that we say in our family is you don't ask if you don't get, so may as well have a crack.
Yeah. All right, so Ashley, let's talk about some client stories or outcomes from last week.
So as part of my job, I reviewed the advice document that's been prepared, have a look through that just to check if there's any errors. The advice document I was looking at, the gender was put into the quoting software incorrectly. And so the common assumption, or what I normally expect to see, is that the premiums are going to be a little bit cheaper for women, particularly for income protection, generally less risky, particularly for young clients. I think accidents make up 72% of claims for men under 35. So when I was in this quoting software for NEOS and changed the gender from female to male, you would not believe my surprise when the premiums were 35% cheaper for this young man compared to when we had him in as a female. So
generally speaking, income protection trauma, more expensive for women, life and TBD, more expensive for guys. Glenn James, who we work closely with from Money, Money, Money podcast, he put a story on Instagram of him climbing up his wall, without a ladder. And it was So it was the wall, it was the framing. So he hasn't like actually put the drywall on. Now I'm trying to pretend like I've got any idea what any of this building stuff is, but it's the framing. So he was climbing up and doing something, and it was fairly high. And I messaged him and said, "This is exactly why guys have more expensive life and TBD insurance, because you're an idiot. What are you doing climbing on this high wall without a ladder?"
That's wild.
So yes, it is a big impact on your premiums when you make the changes like that. Yeah. So for me, I had a phone call with a client. A client called up and just was going through Department of Veteran Affairs to make a claim on certain things, and we'd gotten insurance in place, and they had served in the army. What was it? Like 12 years ago, and they were making a claim, but they just wanted to call up and go, "Hey, I want to update the insurance company on these medical events." And a part of me thinks, well, we're making a claim back from something 12 years ago. Was it disclosed? Were we accurate up front with the insurance company? And so it was a good way just to kind of check in and go, hey, I went through the original application, said, hey, these answers, are they true and correct as at the time? Because they just had some flare-ups more recently since taking out the cover. So they hadn't had any real issues for a while, had more flare-ups. And so, again, there was a few questions I asked was, when you're going through the DVA application, did you this isn't recorded obviously, but did you embellish any symptoms leading up to it prior to the insurance application? She's like, no, it was, the experience back then, and it just flared up more recently. And I was like, as long as it's true and correct as of when we take out the application, we don't need to update the insurance company moving forward. So it was just a good reminder that, as much as we spend a long time communicating with our clients, educating them about the policies, there's so much nuance with these personal insurance policies, going that, it's reasonable that clients don't know. Because, I've had it many times before. Clients go, oh, I've had an issue with my back. I'm not claiming, but I want to let the insurance company know, because you've got to basically tell them everything up front. And so it was a good reminder to go, we just need to keep reminding our clients that, what is and isn't, required when you're having your insurance policy.
Definitely. It's that fine line of making sure you're not coaching them into a non-disclosure situation. It's very important to make sure everything's being disclosed.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, once your policy's in place, you can break yourself and you either claim on it or you don't need to tell them. Like, it's not required under the policies. All right, now for Ash's Baking Corner.
Skye team's ready, forks in hand. Ash's Baking takes the stand.
So Ash, this week, we actually didn't bake anything, which is great, because people don't believe me when I say you don't have to bake stuff. So great job not baking something. So
yeah, had a busy weekend, so I went, not going to bake.
And we called in a favour from our friends from the Philippines. So when we went there 3 weeks ago, I don't know, everything's meshing together in my life at the moment. We got some mini toasted chiffon cakes. We got orange flavour, and what's that flavour?
This one is ube flavour.
So the ube flavour has actually been open for a number of weeks.
Oh,
so Lenny,
okay.
you're welcome. Come, and
I like the colour.
And let's try. You get to try one each.
I'm going to try from the back.
Yeah, there's probably the freshest. That's a good call.
Ooh, I thought this was going to be soft.
Yeah, that's exactly what we all thought. I don't know if this is going to stuff up the audio, but...
Poddy was saying that because they've been open for a while, they're a bit soft. But the crunch I'm hearing from Lenny doesn't sound soft.
I like it.
Okay. Now we need a rating. Now Ash didn't bake it, so let's be as harsh as we want. And they're store bought, so it's not like anyone baked them for us.
They remind me of one of the, and it's all sorts, but I can't put my finger on which one.
Okay.
And that reminds me of like my grandparents. So I'm going to say like a 7.
Oh, I like it. The nostalgia.
Is it the coconut? I feel like when I had that one, it was mildly coconutty. Yeah, something. Maybe the Monte Carlo.
Let me try something. Just to see if we can just give a understanding of how hard these are. Like, it just didn't break at all. Like, I can't. This is hard. This is like a rock.
We did a hardness comparison.
A hardness comparison? Okay. Like, this is... Yeah, is this working? Yeah. All right, here we go.
It melts in your mouth also.
Okay. This is the one I just hit. Ash, you get to give a rating as well. I'm gonna try this one. This is crazy. I can't. Oh, there we go. They are?
Much softer.
Look, they're no Anzac biscuits. They're not that hard, but
It was like I've been in the water.
The Anzac biscuits are hard, and then they're hard, and then they're hard. This, you bite it, and then it softens.
it does dissolve. Yeah, I actually like this one.
I think I prefer the ube one. There's just not as much flavour happening. The orange is very mild.
Pretty much my favourite flavour is orange and peppermint.
Although it does also remind me of the orange.
Yeah, the orange
Arnott's.
one. Yeah, you're right. It is the orange Arnott's.
You got a competitor.
What? So what was? Don't talk with your mouth full, Phil. What was your number here?
7.
7. What do we got?
5.
5. Wow. Okay. Ash, give us a score.
Yeah, 5 for the orange one.
I
I haven't tried the ube one yet.
I'm going to give it a 6.5 for the orange. I like orange. If you bake anything in orange, you'll get at least a point or 2 bump. Yeah. Oh, it is softer.
Yeah, it's like there's a chewiness to it. It's the bite isn't as good. I like the flavour more, but because they're old, it's also getting a 5. If it was fresh, maybe 6.5.
You know what? If I didn't have it when it was first opened, I would like this much better. But it's concerning how it's been sitting there for 2 weeks. And now it's soft. And I just think, I don't know, Kate's made me more of a germaphobe than I ever used to be. So thank you, my beautiful wife. You make me think about germs a lot more. But no, orange is better for me. It is a little chewy, but it freaks me out. So I'll go 6. Yeah, it flavour's good. Thank you, Lenny. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you, the country of Philippines, for creating these delicious treats. All right, back to the show.
Ashes baking takes the stand.
All right, what is coming up this week? So we've got some videos coming out. So I did an interview with Lenny, which was a good interview because I hosted it. No. More seriously, it was a good interview. It's always good to get a better understanding about the new advisors in the team. And Lenny was offered a job at Skye in 2022.
I heard about that last week.
And she declined and said, stuff you, Phil. Don't want to be a part of Skye. And then she came.
That sounds like Lenny.
She came, and she came back. So it was a good interview to understand her journey and advice, which is great. And Ash, we've got a deep dive coming out.
I'll chat about pre-existing conditions and how that affects underwriting and the whole insurance situation.
Yeah, so that was a good deep dive. And then we've got some insurance myths. So if I work in a low-risk job, I don't need income protection. Now, these insurance myths videos, I don't know who came up with these ideas, but it's a combination of me, Poddy, and Trent just being idiots and thinking, let's do stupid things. And so definitely worth having a watch because they're ridiculous. Like when I saw them, these most recent ones come out, I was like, this is stupid. But it's fun. It's play on Mythbusters.
It's very funny. I've seen a few come out already. What are you guys doing with the beakers?
It's science.
Just playing.
We're experimenting and we're understanding myths and we're busting these myths, but we're not myth busters because that's trademarked.
Correct.
Probably. Yeah. We are. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I actually don't understand. We just riffed on it. We're just like, oh, it'd be cool if we just talk about these insurance myths because we hear about it all the time. Like a myth that a client thinking that we need to update our health records with the insurance company. That's a myth. Let's bust it. And then so we just riffed on. We got these robes with our Skye branding on it, and then
Robes, lab coats.
yeah, same thing. Lab coats is more professional. Robes is unprofessional. Anyway, so that's how we got the beakers, and So and then we've got banana bread. You get rated every single week on your baking. Some of it can be hurtful, I'm sure, if me and Trent are rating it. Some of it can boost the ego. So Seb and Ruby, they got forced to bake because they asked you to bake something for them, which is not allowed. It's a big no-no. And so we got to rate their baking.
Yeah, it's good to, flip the table.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley, again. And thanks for letting me come into the office and record in person. So I appreciate that.
Good to see you in person.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for watching. And if you did enjoy This Week at Skye, there is a playlist on the screen somewhere and you can watch other videos that we've done. Have a great week.